K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000. My heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
Game on, where progressives fear us and rhinos tremble. Welcome to the political jungle. I'm JD.
This is Stacey. No one is safe. No one is spared.
Lock up the children.
And the old folk.
Welcome to the world of liberservative conservatarians. Guadalupe, the Greaseman, Thursday night, October 29th, 2015, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is JD and Stacey here. Game on. That means it's K98 Talk. Welcome to all my political freaks, geeks, and back alley sneaks. You know what to do. Everybody within the sound of my voice, get over to that K98Talk.org, baby. Get in that chat room. Say hello to Stacey. Say hello to the drunkest, nakedest, craziest listening audience in the business. Last night, we learned that Ted Cruz and the rest of the Republican candidates, except Jeb and Kasich, listen to that JD and Stacey, baby. Tonight, we're going to give you a full debate recap. 85-year-old Jew thief, Obama admin that says John Goliath is causing that global warming, baby. I kid you not. Custom counselors.
Oh, and there's going to be somebody in our audience that's going to love that story.
Remember, guys, we're not just here Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live again Sundays. We shift gears a little bit, 11 a.m. for that Bloody Marys and broadsheets, baby. You're a cure for that mainstream media hangover. Tuesday nights, we do it again at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard here in that K98 Talk. Then Fridays, 5 p.m. Drive time at WN, JC 1360 a.m. Serving that South Jersey, Philadelphia, Northern Delaware for that 4.2 million listeners. And remember, but this coming Tuesday night, very special guest has been a great friend of the program, Jay Cost of the Weekly Standard, is going to be talking his new little tome, What's So Bad About Cronyism. This is
everything.
His third visit to the show. And remember, guys, next Tuesday night, 10 p.m. live, Jay Cost. Tell everybody about it. Going to be a great interview. He's a great guest. After this Tuesday, JD and Stacey going to be moving to that 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on that Game On for that Tuesdays, baby.
Okay,
awesome. So you don't have to remember which night is 10 and which night is 9. Woo!
And we still haven't figured out where, but we're going to get that YouTube up at JD on the Flip Side Show talking about K98 Talk, WNJC and Stacey. And remember, guys, after the show, not during it, get over to Spreaker.com, hashtag JD and Stacey, JDANDSTACEY. Find the catalog of everything we've been doing here with our Riggy Diggy Tavi Rick Robinson at K98 Talk. And we want to thank our new lead-in, newest show here on K98 Talk, our very good friend Bell River with For Whom the Bell Tolls, baby, with what I'm told is a really kick-ass intro and promo. Good evening, darling.
Good evening.
How are we?
Oh, I was having a blast listening to Lou and Hammy.
Well, you know what it is? You give me all the producing jobs over here, so I don't get that pleasure. I get to set us up for the show. But what?
Yeah, no. She made a grave error though.
Oh yeah, what was that?
She started talking to Hammy about TPP. That never goes well.
Oh, you know that's my favorite subject, because TPP is always like...
Seeing as how the VP is such a VIP, shouldn't we keep the PC on the QT? Because if it leaks to the VC, you can end up in MIA, and then we'd all be put on KP.
Why is TPP such a sore issue with Hammy?
Because we haven't seen it yet, and Lou and I hate it.
I thought... And for those of you who don't know who Hammy is Stephen Hamilton, or, you know, as the crazy...
Very good friend. Very good friend.
As the crazies out there. Hey, lady, remember this?
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
Because we know you're listening, Chop Cut, and we know Dylan's not listening because he's R.I.P'd. But back to what were we...
Actually, he's disappeared.
Who cares?
I know.
Stephen Hamilton is the program director and owner of that all-kind radio, baby. Go check out some of the great shows over there. But you got to check them out on the download. You don't check them out live. I'm getting everybody in trouble here. The boss is going to fire me. He's going to fire me. He's going to say, you got to go. You got to get out of here. You know, or they're just going to go, shut up! So what a week. All right, the poor Mets are down 0-2, coming back to Queens tomorrow night for Game 3 of the World Series. We had a Republican presidential debate, which Stacey and I are going to be speaking about for basically the majority of the show. But we also had, I guess the most positive way to look at it is maybe the beginning of a youth movement in Republican leadership today.
Maybe, certainly not a conservative movement.
No.
No.
You want to know what? You know what? I bet you they don't even know who the fathers of conservatism is. They're all just like,
who is your daddy and what does he do?
Okay, Paul Ryan seceded. John Boehner. I'm gonna miss that. Should we send Boehner out on one last drunk stalk for old time's sake?
No.
Why not?
Let's just bye. I think we should give him as little fanfare as possible. But, you know, these guys that are leaving, like Boehner and Reed, man, Reed's just trolling now.
Oh, it's crazy. Hold on a second. Let me hit the...
He's just trolling now, man. But, no, Boehner, I mean, when Reed leaves, we should throw a party and go back to the orangeness from whence he came.
Well, we have audio from some members of the Freedom Caucus and Louis Gohmert just as Boehner was leaving the building today.
It's over, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
You know, he had a picture on the speaker's balcony last night, and it was like, "Someone do a weepy John Boehner. This is my last time out," and I didn't do it, but I really just wanted to quote tweet it and say jump.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm pretty sure we won't see as many floods from Paul Ryan. He seems a little more maybe poised than Boehner, not quite so emotional.
No, but I want to see.
But I will tell you, when you watch the video of him walking out to give his conference, that dude has a power walk, let me tell you.
He does, and it's funny you brought that up. For those of you who missed it, there's a video floating around where you're going to see Louis Gohmert, who actually voted against Paul Ryan for Speaker. He voted for Daniel Webster, as did some members of the Freedom Caucus. What Gohmert comes up to Ryan right after he gives his floor speech about, and I thought, to my mind, one of the most important parts of the floor speech that might give you some hope, and please, folks, don't confuse me. I do not think by any way, shape. I'm not sold on his conservative bona fides. But when he gave that floor speech, He spoke about being inclusive of the minority. He spoke about that Freedom Caucus who had been shut out and kicked off committees and how important it was to hear everybody's voice. And after he said that, this video of Louis Gohmert kind of just in the moment getting up and coming over to Paul Ryan, and he says something to him, and the report out of Gohmert's office is that what Gohmert said is that speech inspired him to say, hey, kid, I didn't vote for you, and I'm going to fight you, and I think you're wrong. But basically, he said he's here to help Paul Ryan in any way that he can, and will support and vote for and with him when he thinks that he's in the right. So if I could imagine that our Uncle Louis is like a consigliere in there, like a nice kind of Godfather thing, maybe this works out okay?
Maybe it works out okay. I mean, Louis said way back, I don't know, over a month ago, right after Boehner's resignation, when Webster threw his hat in the ring, that he endorsed Webster. And I believe from everything I've seen, heard, watched, and our own interactions with Louis Gohmert, he's a man of his word. He wasn't going to not do that after he publicly stated it. I'm not sold on Ryan, not a fan of some of his economic type stuff. I mean, I believe he's a real cheerleader for the Chamber of Commerce and, bigger immigration than I'd like to see, along with some of these trade deals that I'm not a big fan of.
Well, the thing with Ryan is I think that he embraces government and its size and just thinks that he can make it work better. And and we're going to get into last night, and I don't think after last night that's where the base is. But this just came in from, you got to love the K98 Talk news crew is absolutely unbelievable. So you got this video floating around of Uncle Louis Gohmert jumping up there and leaning in and saying something to Paul Ryan. Evidently, we had the special telescope microphone. This is what Gohmert said to Paul Ryan on the floor of the House today.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
So hopefully Paul Ryan's going to take that to heart, and we'll see some fight and some action. But I just don't know. You know what else I'm wondering, Stacey? I wonder. And I guess we're not going to find this out probably for about another, I don't know, 6 to 9 months. I wonder if who the nominee of the party is for president is going to influence Ryan's agenda.
That would be true, and it kind of seems like Ryan is skating in at a very convenient time because the budget deal was brokered prior to him taking the reins, et cetera, et cetera. So I think he's getting around some of the stuff that people are going to be really upset about and can kind of step back from it and say, not me.
How convenient.
Yeah, note how that happened.
Let's talk about, and we're going to take this right through to the bottom of the second segment. Let's talk about better than the World Series. Last night's number 3 presidential, Republican presidential, what was supposed to be, what was billed as an economic debate on CNBC for the Republican candidates. For those of you who missed it, there was a lot going on yesterday. We understand how you could have. It was CNBC's highest rating of all time. They had some 14 million down from Fox's 26 million, but I said in the intro to the show that we found out last night that these candidates listen to that JD and Stacey baby, and it seemed like
they can politics. Some of them.
Thank you very, very, very much. Gunnar, tell the ladies what she's won.
Yay! No, but seriously, last night was the first debate I've scared my dog because I was laughing and clapping so hard.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm kicked back in the recliner, and I hear Ted Cruz go off like a shot, and I'm like, "Woo!"
Before we play you, basically, this was Ted Cruz. This was an answer at about 15 minutes into the debate. Nukes John Harwood and the whole partisan
and
set.
The thing I think it's important to note, that was a university campus. It was not filled with Republicans. The guys actually brought the audience, and gals actually brought the audience along with them.
That's right. So for those of you who missed it, let's talk about the true front runners. Everybody.
You're so vain.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
So the whole thing is that Trump had to have this big performance, but Dr. Ben Carson has been nipping on his heels, has he not?
Yes, he has.
Well, JD and Stacey are proud to bring you. Dr. Ben Carson has not yet had that theme song on this show, baby. We're going to bring you right now, first time, live, exclusive. This is the JD and Stacey theme song for Dr. Ben Carson. And do you know why?
Why?
Because he looks like he's blind, and he looks and talks like Stevie Wonder. So, and don't get me wrong. I know I like Dr. Ben Carson. He's growing on me by leaps and bounds. I thought he did very well last night. But I'm watching it, and he kind of tilts his head back, and he closes his eyes, and he's kind of like a Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson. And I'd like to thank all the people in the world today and the children, and I'd like to answer the question in a different way.
Well, but I mean, I also do have to give him a little credit last night because he kind of set the tone. In his opening statement, he said he believed in Reagan's 11th commandment. You would not hear him last night insulting or berating other candidates on the stage. He was there to discuss ideas and policies and how he and the rest of the candidates are different from the other party.
Well, that's a dual-edged sword.
So he did it in the more kind of quiet and congenial way that he tends to speak, but he kind of set the tone and said, I'm not playing this way.
No, he came up and he said, I'd like to thank all the people in the world today.
No, he didn't.
No.
He made a very clear statement because the logical assumption after watching the first two debates is that they were going to try to set up a boxing match between Carson and Trump. Carson said right off the bat he wasn't going to play.
Correct. And Stacey and I are going to give you a whole review on how these candidates really woke up, learned how to speak over the press, over the moderators, through the lens, and to the American people. But what I found very interesting about that wasn't exactly from a naked political point. That was not a altruistic move, a statement by Carson, because both Carson and Trump, both of the presumptive front runners right now, as we speak, according to all of the polls, and yes, this far out polls can be, but right now they are, the front runners. Both of them said things that were funny. They were tuned so that the audience would think that they were a champion of the people. This goes to Ben Carson's, I want to do a different kind of campaign. I'm not going to attack other candidates. Well, you want to know why he wants that? Because he's at the top. And this goes back to Richard Nixon and Pat Buchanan and never shoot down, always shoot up. And you don't get more up.
That's very – Carson's run his campaign that way from the start. I mean, Trump's tried to come after him a couple times, and he just said, this is not a conversation I'm going to have.
He has, but you and I have been talking. We're talking like Carson here, has been campaigning better and is politicking better. I actually thought I thought that was a savvy – I thought it was a savvy statement for somebody who I don't think is a savvy pol. The other front runner who I thought had such a self-serving statement that – again, he's tuned and pitched to the people like being a champion of the people. When you had Trump up there, I mean, if you closed your eyes when Trump was speaking about super PACs, it could have been Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, I mean, down the list, any progressive Democrat. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to him, and all of a sudden it hit me. He is self-funding his own campaign. He said that in his opening statement. On top of that, he spent about $6 and 9 magic beans so far to go through this process. If he remains as a frontrunner, which he is right now, but seems vulnerable after last night's debate, Ted Cruz is sitting on a mountain of money. Marco Rubio is sitting on a mountain of money, and so are their super PACs. And what I think may knock Trump out of the race, or what I think will cause him to have what I think was going to be the breakdown that's going to force him out, if he's self-funding this, he is going to be forced to match dollar for dollar, not candidate campaign spending, but super PAC spending. And I want you to think about
the activist spending and the super PAC spending that's going to kill him. And he has gotten so much free media to this point and been running the entertainment wing of the party, which pretty much ended last night. I mean, that is the one thing I do have to say about this debate. When you look at the total time per candidate, Trump was fourth.
But you want to know something, but just for the audience to have some context, he was fourth, but I was very impressed last night. When you say somebody had the most, second, third, fourth, fifth, about the first 5 or 6 or 7 up there, they really had, they were very close. You know what I'm saying? Like the difference between 1 and 2 was like, 10:23 and 10:12 and 9:49 and things like that. And when I actually had heard how
until you got to Jebby, he only got 6:08.
Screw him. I'm glad you gave us one opportunity because I don't think he's going to be around.
Stay out the bushes.
I think everybody else figured that out. I'll tell you what, stay out the Marco. Not the audience, but Bush.
Oh, man.
But when I went back and I saw that when they had said last night, I think they said Trump had, but what did you say? He had the fourth most amount. What did he clock in, about 949, something like that, Stacey?
Something like that. Fiorina from the New York Times assessment had the most. I think Rubio had the second. Ted Cruz actually had less than Donald Trump, but he certainly made a lot more of it than Donald did. And I'm glad, right before we go to break, because we're going to have the second segment to pick back up on this, I am so glad that you said that, because that was my point. When I had heard how long Donald Trump spoke last night, I was actually surprised, because I watched the debate every second, completely glued and intent, and I said, he really spoke that long? And then I said, do you want to know why it didn't seem like that? Because every candidate on that stage had something new to say, and every candidate on that stage had a new dynamic, and he didn't. He didn't. The one thing I will give him credit for, when we come back, we're going to explain how the Republican Party decided to obey Reagan's 11th commandment after these moderators were just a complete douche canoes to him. Hat tip Rick Wilson and CNN. But last night they learned how to do that. And the one thing I will give Trump credit for is he embraced that himself up there. He was not the outlier that he was in the first debate when he threw his hand up and said, I'm not going to support anybody. Bah! We got plenty of time for that coming back on the second side of the break. We're going to have the montage and audio from last night. Ted Cruz, which may have, I think historians may look back at this Ted Cruz clip and say it may have changed conservative and Republican fortunes forever. Listen to the breaks, kids. We got Bell Rivers' new show, For Whom the Bell Tolls, new promo in there. JD and Stacey, K98 Talk, Game On, coming back.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be. This is the most transparent administration in history. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
Fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
If you got a business, you didn't build that.
The feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I don't have that too often.
Steady.
It's time to hear the truth about America's biggest challenges. Ricky Robinson, host of America Off the Rails, will tackle the important issues facing America today as he tries to keep America from coming off the track. Get ready to hear the truth every Monday through Friday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, here on K98Talk.com and the Spark Radio Network.
Welcome to the face. Welcome to the face of the new democracy.
Are you conservative in a world of liberal?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not alone. Hey, I'm Daniel Stafford, host of the Stafford Voice, and I'd like to invite you to tune in each Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern, where I'll break down the events of the week, and together we'll learn about how they affect you. So, sit back and get ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly of talk radio right here on K98 Talk.
From the Vikings of Norway to my home down south to Washington, D.C., I've been around. I've seen it all, and I've come out on top. You better beware, for all you know, the bell tolls for you. Enter the bell tower or watch your step. 8 p.m. Thursdays, K98 Talk.
Welcome back, everybody. JD and Stacey here on K98 Talk. Everybody grab your drink, grab your stink, grab whatever helps make you think. Get over to that chat room right now, K98Talk.org. Say hello to Stacey. Make sure these people got their clothes on. They're doing crazy, crazy, crazy things over there. Thanks for joining us here Thursday nights. We want to thank our new lead in Bell River with that For Whom the Bell Tolls, baby. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at K98 Talk. You got JD and Stacey. Thursdays, 9 p.m. here, doing it for Game On. 11 a.m., Bloody Marys and Broadsheets on Sunday. Tuesday night, 10 p.m., Game On. We will be moving after this next Tuesday. We have Jay Cost of the Weekly Standard talking his new tome, What's So Bad About Cronyism. After this coming Tuesday, you're going to be able to find me and Stacey here on that K98 Talk, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very excited to say that to you. Michael Loftus, Flipside Show, Spreaker.com, Something About a Cruise, wah.
Wow.
Oh, how's that for promoing? That's what we call.
That was
what we call on the radio biz.
That was a promo. No.
That's. We'll send you to radio school. You'll learn all these newfangled.
I'm gonna go to radio school. I'm so excited.
Oh man, you're going to radio
I thought that's
school.
what I'd been in for almost the last year now.
Okay, terrific.
Oh, you know what you've been for the last year. You've been.
Remember when you ran away and I got on my knees and begged you?
It's
No,
kind of
that's
like
just been the last month.
it's kind of like a loony bin, right? Oh, and for those of you who missed it, Dr. Ben Carson, because he looks like Stevie Wonder and says, "I want to thank all the people in the world today and the children and my tax plan."
Oh my God.
Hoi vey schmear. Oh, okay. So, for those of you who've seen him all over the TV, the head of the RNC is a guy by the name of Rance Priebus. I don't know what Rance means, and I'm not sure how to spell it. You know why? Because it's a weird name. You know why it's a weird name? Because this guy is a weird, feckless jerk-off.
Be
You know
honest,
why?
though. Most
be honest
people
with-
either have a weird first name or a weird last name. This dude has a weird first and last name.
Well, listen, I'm sorry over there, Miss Stay. I see Lennox. You know, here in Wisconsin, we got Nordic names. Well, you know the first black guy ever.
You sound like Cheech.
You know the first.
You
black-
can't do.
You know the first black guy I ever saw was Barack Obama.
You're supposed to go Fargo, Canada. You just went full Cheech and Chong on that one.
No, we're talking Rance Priebus. I told you, Greta, I come from Wisconsin. We got cheese, beers, the Packard, and no colored people. The first colored person I ever saw was that Barack Obama. That's why they made me chairman of the GOP. So I had this debate.
Oh my God.
Did I
Cheech Marin
just say
does
that the
Rance
first-
Priebus. Yeah, that's great.
Did
That's
I
great.
just say that the first black guy Rance Priebus ever saw was Barack Obama? Because
You know
he's
what?
from Wisconsin.
You know what? You just need to stop. My problem with this particular gentleman, who just happened to be the Section 8 version of the presidency. Never mind. Back to the debate.
Okay, hold on a second. I didn't expect to do that. No,
And that's it for tonight, folks. We're going to disconnect now because JD can't get himself under control.
We got cows and beer. We don't have colored people.
Okay, why does Cheech Marin keep coming back on?
Okay, terrific.
Hold on. Let me set the audio.
That is so not Wisconsin. Blaine.
I'm sorry. It's a late
You
night
need to
show.
watch Fargo.
No, but you can hear it when I came on. My voice is a little shotsky from.
Yeah,
from,
no, but Cheech Marin has no place in taught it.
That
yeah,
was Rance
wrong.
Priebus, not Cheech Marin. With John Gruden.
Oh my
Okay.
God, you keep doing it.
All
Stop.
right. So, for those of you who missed it last night, John Harwood, Becky Quick, and Carl Quintanilla, who are CNBC analysts. Let me break down who and what CNBC is. The reason that JD watches that CNBC, baby, is because I worked on Wall Street for about 20 years. And myself and a lot of guys that I know today, You know, the first thing that you do out of habit, you wake up, you put your feet on the floor, and you turn on CNBC. Why? Because I got Joe Kernan there and Rick Santelli telling me what happened overnight in the Asian markets. You got Larry Kudlow on there, who was one of the most important people over at OMB in the Reagan administration. You have smart, Keynesian, supply-side people at CNBC. And they didn't
none of them were moderators.
That's right. They didn't use any of them last night. For those of you who missed the debate, here's a best montage of what CNBC and these wanting to be celebrity jerk-off, schmeckle-face, ass-hatted moderators did.
What should we do? What we should do is to be investing in all types of energy, John. All types of energy. And I've laid out...
Meaning government?
No, John. John, do you want me to answer? You want to answer. How are we going to do this?
Is this a comic book version of a presidential campaign?
Would you feel more comfortable if your employees brought guns to work? What is your biggest weakness, and what are you doing to address it?
So you don't want the coach to put you in anymore?
Governor Kasich, let's talk about marijuana.
Working women in this country still earn just 77% of what men earn.
And they say you act like you hate your job. Do you? Now you're skipping more votes than any senator to run for president. Why not slow down? Daily fantasy sports has become a phenomenon in this country. Isn't that the definition of gambling, and should the federal government treat it as such?
We have ISIS and Al-Qaeda attacking us, and we're talking about fantasy football? Can we stop?
Senator Paul, I've got a question for you
So
on the
you don't
same
actually
subject.
want to hear the answer, John?
Senator Paul,
you don't want to hear the answer. You just want to insult.
You used your time on something else.
How do we decide?
What is smarmy ass?
I've seen 20 other people follow up.
It was at the moderator discretion.
Use their time picking.
Governor Kasich, let's talk.
Since you're the champion of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, don't you have that backward?
No, you're wrong. People in this country...
Tax Foundation, just to be clear, they said gains after tax income...
You wrote a story on it, you had to go back and correct it. You did.
I did not.
Oh, you did.
You want to bring
not
that
to talk about it,
70,000
not
pages...
to propose it, to get it
You want to
done.
bring the 70,000 pages to 3?
That's right, 3 pages.
Is that
you
using
know why
really
3?
small type?
So you're in favor of increasing
I have not been
that?
at all critical of him.
Where did I read this and come up with this that you were...
Probably, I don't know, you people write this stuff. I don't know where you...
That was funny. That was funny.
The type of person you want
Yeah,
to...
but
Well,
this
is one of the reasons why Tom Perkins and I had disagreements in the boardroom, Becky.
Becky?
Respond to that. Now respond to that.
Listen.
No, I'm
We're
sorry.
going to get down the line. Becky's got a question.
We'll get to everyone.
Back
Gentlemen, I'm sorry. We need to Becky.
We're going to try to move on.
Keep it moving, guys.
Let me just...
There's
I've got a question for Governor Bush.
Don Harwood, there's a bigger issue here.
Hold on, Governor. I got a question for Governor Bush.
We're on the homepage of their website with the logo over your shoulder. Does that not speak to your vetting process or judgment in any way?
No, it speaks to the fact that I don't know those ones.
And that...
See, they know.
That 2.5 minutes basically boiled down and distilled the absolute contempt that the CNBC moderators had for the Republicans running last night on stage. You agree with that, correct?
Oh, I agree with that. But that one thing that Donald Trump about the H-1B visas, when she came back later and said, I believe I found this on the Donald J. Trump for President website, and she direct quoted it. I laughed so hard I nearly,
Which she did,
hurt myself.
But you know what the biggest scandal is there? You have somebody doing a presidential debate. This is NBC News. Their research department, tens of millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And the person asking the question of a Republican candidate didn't know where maybe she heard that from. If she doesn't have it there in front of her at the time, it's no better than a rumor. Now, he handled it great because one of two things happened. Either he knew it was on the site and just doesn't care and lies, or what I think is he had no idea.
Well, no, he lies.
He had no idea.
He never tried to get casino gambling into Florida, and he never declared bankruptcy were the two before.
Let's bring it back to the moment of the night. What we keep saying on this show and all of our shows is that Republicans don't know how to politic, and they fall into this trap time and time again. Oh, please, media, what do I have to do to make you like me? How can I moderate these conservatives and shut up the Ted Cruzes so that you'll run a nice story about me? The answer is nothing. Nothing. And last night, Ted Cruz may have single-handedly changed the narrative in this country on the mainstream media with this response.
Let me say something at the outset. The questions that have been asked so far in this debate illustrate why the American people don't trust the media. This is not a cage match. And you look at the questions. Donald Trump, are you a comic book villain? Ben Carson, can you do math? John Kasich, will you insult two people over here? Marco Rubio, why don't you resign? Jeb Bush, why have your numbers fallen? How about talking about the substantive issues people care about?
Does this count? Do we get credit for this one?
And Carl, I'm not finished yet. The contrast with the Democratic debate, where every fawning question from the media was, which of you is more handsome and wise?
So this is a question about the debt limit, which you have 30 seconds left to answer, should you choose to do so.
What an ass.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
And that's
the men and women on this stage have more ideas, more experience, more common sense than every participant in the Democratic debate. That debate reflected a debate between the Bolsheviks and the Mensheviks. And nobody watching at home believes that any of the moderators has any intention of voting in a Republican primary. The questions that are being asked shouldn't be trying to get people to tear into each other. It should be, what are your substantive solutions to people who are hurting?
All right, at the end of that, Ted Cruz drops the microphone, drops his trouser, whips out his schmeckle and goes, "What, bitches?" And John Harwood's head goes. Isn't that how that ended?
Yeah, no, I mean, that was honestly, I like I said, I was cheered so loud I scared my dog. And the amazing thing about that moment again was he's at a university setting. This was not a solely Republican audience. This is not necessarily even an audience that, may normally be engaged in politics. And the roars he got from the crews or from the audience after he went on that particular little rant were amazing. I mean, the audience just went with him, and they kept going with the candidates as they attempted to extricate themselves from the moderators' less than, shall we say, genuine questions for the rest of the debate.
And the reason that we spent so much time setting up what the moderators were doing in that moment is because Ronald Reagan had an 11th commandment. And Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment was, you do not take shots at other Republicans, even on a debate stage. You focus and train your fire laser-like on the Democrats. And you know who do that all the time? The Democrats. You got Uncle Speedo up there at the Democratic North Korean hostage video. He's up there going, "Oh, it's okay." Nobody cares about your emails. Mr. Vargas, what about the emails? Why are the color people yelling? He's up there as the closest person to her heels, needing to do something to break out. His biggest club he decided not to use. You want to know why? Because Democrats don't eat their own. Last night, after that exchange, one of the things that Ronald Reagan did the best, the reason that Ronald Wilson Reagan is serially referred to as the great communicator, is Ronald Reagan never spoke to the press a day in his life. He spoke over the press, through the lens, straight to the American people. And I was starting to doubt if any of these candidates had the ability to do that. Last night, after that exchange, that debate changed. If you tie it in with the fact that Trump didn't have anything new to add, that was the debate that the Republican base has been waiting to see. You have varying different tax
and
plans.
Only 14 million people tuned in. I mean, I think less people saw that one than saw the first circus. I mean, that just breaks my heart.
No. I think the gift that CNBC gave the world, and a lot of the people who were watching the World Series last night or who were otherwise engaged and just going, screw this, I'm tired, it's too early in the process. You know what they heard about all day today?
You missed it.
That's right. And with the way that media and the way that you can access media now, people can go back to YouTube and watch it. So I think it's going to be a lot more widely seen than you think. Where we're going to come out on this segment, hold on, let me just get my bubble one more time. We're going to come out in this segment before we come back into segment 3. Stacey Lennox, my beautiful and brilliant co-host, made such a good point last night. She made such a good point. It was last night or today whenever we were speaking about it. She honestly believes that, and I do too, that that Cruz interaction may have been Ronald Reagan's Mr. Speaker, I'm paying for this microphone moment. Could this be a resurgence of the conservative cause? We're going to see. Coming back on the other side of this as Ronald Wilson Reagan takes us out. Department of Energy and Obama telling us our jack-o'-lanterns cause climate change, 85-year-old Jew thieves, and all sorts of insanity. JD and Stacey here, K98 Talk, coming right back.
Trying to get the other candidates to leave. They don't. The fireworks begin.
If we may have the first question for the question. You asked me if you could make an announcement first. And I asked you for permission to make an announcement myself. Would the sound man please turn Mr. Reagan's mic off for a minute? Is this on? Mr. Green, did you turn that microphone off? You asked for me if you would... I am paying for this microphone, Mr. Green.
Everybody, this is Jason, host of According to Me. I'd like to invite you to check out my show. It's a 2-hour show that lasts 60 minutes in... listen, I hate to interrupt, but one thing I can do is read off a script. Just say, let me be clear a lot. It works. President Obama, I can handle this. It's a radio promo. I'm not green. I've done this before. Did someone say green? Now, Al Gore is here. Listen, I'm just trying to record a radio promo. Do you mind? Now, do you say good things about me on the show? No, not at all. But if it makes you feel any better, everybody Republicans just... frequencies give off very high levels of radiation. Look, my show is on the internet, which you invented. Can I just do my promo? I got a pen. I can veto that, you know. I know you got a pen. It's not a law. It's a radio promo. Listen, just listen to my show. Barack Obama and Al Gore hate it, so you're going to love it. Here's an executive order. Don't listen to his show. He doesn't like me. He's racist. And he doesn't recycle either. That's it. I'm done. It's According to Me, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on K98 Talk.
Wondering why you're up early with us on a Sunday morning making a cocktail? News lately got you drinking? Hungover from the mainstream media by Sunday? We are, and we got you covered.
We sure do. We got your hangover cure for those weekly news blues. So sit back, top off your mimosa, and add some Baileys to that coffee.
Take a match to your copy of the New York Times. Light, funny, and oh yeah, news with booze.
And a lot of laughter.
Welcome to Bloody Marys and Broadsheets. If it's Sunday, it's Bloody Marys and Broadsheets.
We're your cure from your weekly news hangover.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
K98 Talk is expanding its lineup for 2015. This means we are expanding our advertising base. Whether you're a startup trying to push through to the next level, or an established business trying to supplement your advertising budget, web-based advertising is a solid investment. Thanks to Talk's newest partnership with TuneIn Radio and instant access to our sister station, K98 FM, we give you worldwide access at a reasonable cost. Interested parties should email us at sales@k98fm.com.
Welcome back to all our political freaks, geeks, and back alley sneaks. Before I say anything more, do you know why JD loves his co-host Stacey? I glance over there into the chat room. You know what I hear her say? I hear her say she hates the Patriots. I don't care if you're up 12-0 at the half. Bye, baby. Everybody right now, get over to K98Talk.org, get in that chat room, smack around anybody who's a Patriots fan, tell them that they're doing wrong, and the Lord and baby Jesus are going to come down and take... break. Remember, guys, JD and Stacey not just here Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do it again Sunday morning, 11 a.m. for that Bloody Marys and Broadsheets, baby. Your cure for that mainstream media hangover. We go live again Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard for that Game On. Next Tuesday, please join us. Very special guest. We're going to have live for the hour. Jay Koss from the Weekly Standard, talking his new book, What's So Bad About Cronyism? Everything. After that, we're going to be moving to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And get over to that Spreaker.com. Hashtag JD and Stacey. Find out everything we've been doing over here with that Ricky Ticky Dobby Rick Robinson and that K98 talk. But Stacey, would you agree? I recommend anybody who missed that debate last night. It was not a snooze. It was something that I would carve some time out of your day and go find online. I guarantee you it's up there at YouTube. I really think it's worth the watch.
Yeah, it was a very good debate. And I want to apologize in advance if you hear a very loud noise in the background in my audio. My 200-pound Great Dane decided to sleep in here this evening and is now snoring, and I can't stop him.
Fantastic. Or as we like to say here in the show.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah, the joys of internet radio. All of a sudden I hear this voice coming, and I'm like, what in the world? There's my dog.
Real quick, 30 seconds, really 30 seconds to tie up the debate segment. Who did what they had to, who didn't? Who's in and who's done?
I think Carly Fiorina needs to get a lot more policy specifics. I like her ideas. She needs to nail some things down. Marco Rubio's still in. Sorry, he had a great moment there with the MSM being Hillary's PAC. Ted Cruz, obviously. Carson and Trump are in because of where they sit in the polls. I think we'll see Trump's numbers actually go down after last night. I think a lot of other people outshone him in a couple different ways. Kasich kind of scared me because he wasn't himself at all and he didn't wear it well. Jeb needs to go. And Rand Paul, who I was really excited about, makes me want to cry. And unfortunately, I think Christie had a couple moments last night. You're going to see a bump for him. I'll still never vote for him, but I got to give him, some credit. He did well.
I think that if you were taking it, if you were scoring it as a fight card, I think that in this order, top three taken the night last night were Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and Chris Christie. I don't think Ben Carson hurt himself at all. I actually think that Ben Carson, and it was so funny, first person I thought of was Charles C.W. Cook. Ben Carson gave the textbook answer for a Republican presidential candidate to answer a gay marriage or any kind of gay-themed question. He answered it by saying, you want to know something? You absolutely do not understand my views on the subject, and the United States Constitution guarantees that we don't discriminate against anybody, baby. And I would tell you there was no follow-up to it because I think he flummoxed them so badly. I agree with you. I thought Carly... I think Carly held her own because I think that what you're going to see, if you take a look at the internals of the support for both Trump and Carson, Trump has very solid, we'll walk through the fire support. People love themselves some Ben Carson, but I think his support is softer than about 40% with people that would be a diehard dead ender for him. So I think when you start to look at the top, it becomes very important as to who people's second and third choices are with between Trump and Carson. And I think coming out of that field last night, I think, to my mind, what you saw, I think that, to my mind, last night as the field stands, I think the best bet of getting the nomination in this order would most likely be, and this isn't a wish list, I actually believe, I believe, haven't really thought about this is going to be the order. I think it's going to be Rubio, Cruz, and then in 3 or 4 you can kind of move Carson or Fiorina. I do. And the first candidate in this whole process on either side, and I'm not saying here, again, I haven't advocated or endorsed anybody, but the only person that I've seen in this whole process that, to my mind, when it happened last night, I said, you want to know something? This guy looks pretty damn presidential, and that was Marco Rubio last night. And Rubio is somebody I've had a problem with on the immigration issue, but I really think that with everything that's going on in the world, last home run thing I thought he hit. I thought when he hit it saying, people trying to raise a family on $60,000. The guy's 44 years old. He is not a 60-something-year-old rich guy or gal. I think he is more plugged into this current economy than anybody else running for president. That's my 2 cents right now. But it can't be all serious in politics. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why?
Because it's game on.
You want to know something? I swear to God, liberals could take the fun out of a blowjob. Look at the Monica Lewinsky case. That one cost about 9 figures. Energy Department smashes pumpkins for causing climate change. I kid you not, boo-boo and the rest of the greenhouse gas morons in D.C. are now telling you that you and your kids' Halloween pumpkin baby is causing that greenhouse gases and climate change. How scary are your jack-o'-lanterns? Scarier than you think, according to the Energy Department, which claims the holiday squash is responsible for unleashing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Most of the 1.3 billion pounds of pumpkins produced in the U.S. end up in the trash, says the Energy Department's website, becoming part of the more than 254 million tons of municipal solid waste. The government abbreviates that as MSW, produced in the United States every year. Municipal solid waste, now you can't even go out and have yourself some Halloweens, baby, without thinking that you're giving out to the global warming.
Yeah, well, compost, folks, just compost.
That's not the whole thing. Look,
the government this week alone has told me I shouldn't eat bacon. Sorry, not going to happen. Now we're not supposed to carve pumpkins with our kids. I think we just need to stop listening.
Boring. JD, the United States government, JD and Stacey have one thing to say to you.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
Are these people serious?
No, they're totally serious.
And by the way, I'm starting to think that you live in the crime capital of the world. I ripped 4 nonsensical stories off for the third thing. Some of them have to do with crime. So you know that idiot that
Okay, so this is probably a heck of a lot more interesting than Waffle House guy.
Oh, hell no. Let me tell you something. Any guy freaking out to the point of getting tackled by the police over a sausage biscuit going from $1 to $1.50, by the way, is I'll take that story every day and twice on Sundays.
I know, but
so
it does
insane.
not hold a candle to an 85-year-old international jewel thief. I thought international jewel thief was just something they said on James Bond. I didn't think they actually existed, but they do.
No, 85-year-old woman in Atlanta.
But she was just in Atlanta. She's not from Atlanta.
Shut up. I'm telling the story the way I want to.
I do not live in the crime capital of the world. That's where
yes,
you live.
Yes, you do. As a matter of fact, every time
that's where you live.
Every time I call her on the phone, she's like, hold on, I got to close the window.
Yeah, because that's how. Okay. Yeah.
Will you close your window, please, so we can finish the show?
Oh, my God. JD is now practicing what we call projection, folks.
Oh, my God. Audio, my bubbles, cough buttons. 85-year-old internet. Right, when you said international jewel thief, weren't you thinking like the Pink Panther and what the hell?
But I mean, seriously, that's something that people are in movies. They don't actually exist. Apparently, I was wrong. 85 years old, swipes a pair of earrings.
Here's the best part of the story. Do you know that
she stole $2 million worth of stuff over her career?
And Halle Berry
was homeless.
Halle Berry. Well, that you want to know what that's called? Right there. That's called burying the lead.
I'm sorry.
Halle Berry did a movie about this woman. At the height of her career, Payne would don expensive clothing and use her elegance and beauty to seduce jewelry store clerks into complacency, at which point she would snatch valuable items and vanish. Halle Berry once slated to star in a film about her exploits, and Payne was the subject of a 2013 documentary titled The Life and Crimes of Doris Payne. Here's the best part. Here's 85-year-old Doris Payne's quote. I ain't killed nobody. I never took anything I regretted. I had a good look at it and decided this is what I want, and I kept it. Sounds like half of my girlfriends.
She stole, I have to say it again, $2 million worth of jewelry in her lifetime, in her career.
She is believed,
and she was homeless.
She's been doing this since the 50s. She was in Tokyo, Monte Carlo, blah, 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 blah. You want to take the costume?
Did you see pictures of her when she was younger, though? She was a really pretty lady.
Oh, my God. She would have rolled me in a heartbeat. I'd be, oh, yeah, here, look at it, touch it, blow on it. Wait, where's my money?
Yeah, she's a very pretty lady. Not so pretty now, but I mean, not bad looking for 85.
Yeah. I mean, she's all right, but it's not like kind of...
Giggity, let's have sex. 5.
Hey, what are you, an ageist?
Oh, my God.
We got a minute. We only got a minute.
No, I'm a misogynist. Ask any feminist on Twitter.
Take costume counselors. We got a minute.
Hey, costume counselors. There's a very special person of this. The University of New York, State University of New York at Geneseo
I couldn't
has
believe that.
offered its students 5 costume counselors so you can call them and make sure that your costume is appropriately politically correct.
Not to be outdone by who, though? Wesleyan, who had how many?
Wesleyan has 6.
All right, I've had it with the world today. Fastest hour in conservative radio wrapping up. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, please join us next Tuesday night live for the hour here on Game On, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have Mr. Jay Cost, baby, that weekly standard, talking his new book, What's So Bad About Cronyism. That is going to be our last night at 10 p.m. on Tuesdays. After that, we're moving to Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, baby, you got them keys?
I do, but do you know who went to SUNY Geneseo?
Who?
My mom!
Tell the nice people where you can be found and why your mother does weird things at Geneseo. Hurry up.
Hey, you all can find me on Twitter at @ScottsFire, SCOTSFIR. You don't have Facebook.
Yeah, that's easy for her to say. You can find me at Game On JD on the Twitters. And as always, as all our listeners know, alleyways, bar stools, shady situations, the occasional donkey shows, and places I shouldn't be. If I live through it, I'll see you next week.
I'm looking for you, you Occupy freaks with your glitter bombs. Bring it on! Bring on the glitter. Everything has changed. Everything has changed in the last few years. Conservatives used to take it, and we're not taking it anymore.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Giggity, 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 let's have sex.